There we go, finding wind direction and speed. I'm going to give you the instructions. Since a lot of you are using the manual flight computer, you need to know these instructions ahead of time. We're going to go over some problems because the FAA is going to give you an airplane's been flying on a certain true course and using a certain true heading at a certain ground speed and certain true airspeed, and they're going to ask, what is the wind direction and wind speed? So step number one is to determine the wind correction angle. Number two, I like to do this. It's not part of the actual process, but it helps me double check my answer at the end. Do I have a headwind or a tailwind? Step number three, we're effectively working backwards. So if you have a list of instructions on the wind side of your flight computer, we're effectively working backwards on here. Okay. You always spun your compass rose twice. The second time you spun it, it was true course. So we place true course under the true index. Okay. Then we always read the ground speed under that center hole, center grommet position. So we're going to slide until we're under that grommet position. We're going to draw a wind dot on the true airspeed arc. Remember, when we draw the wind dot on the true airspeed arc, we're looking at that wind correction angle, so many degrees left or so many degrees right of the index line. Okay, we'll go over some examples here, don't worry. And then we're going to rotate the compass rose until the wind dot is above the grommet. Remember, when you do this the normal way, that's the first thing you do is you put your wind dot down above the grommet so many knots. Then we can read the wind direction under true index. And we can count the divisions between our grommet and our wind dot for wind speed. Those are our directions there. So let's go over doing an example, and we're going to start with the first step. We're given a problem with a true course of 360 degrees. So our airplane's trying to go north, but they're having to point the nose to 015 degrees. That's the true heading. That difference between true course and true heading is your wind correction angle. So it will look in this sort of a fashion here. So that difference between the two is wind correction, and because we're going to the right side of true course, that means it's a 15-degree right wind correction angle. So it's going to be our first step. Now, I like to also note our true airspeed and our ground speed. It's not part of the problem, but it helps me double check at the end that I've done it correctly. I'm going slower than true airspeed. I have a headwind component for this. Wind correction angle, 15 degrees right. We need that information. So our first step is going to be rotate true course under the true index. True course is 360 degrees. So we find 360 on the outer, the compass rose, and then we're going to slide that under the true index here at the very top. There it goes, rotating now. Second step is to slide the ground speed to the center grommet, ground speed of 87 knots. We'll find that down there. Center grommet in my picture here is red. I'm going to slide that up. We get 87 under my center grommet. Now mark the wind correction angle on the true airspeed arc. True airspeed of 95 knots. Go 15 degrees to the right side of the index line. Place your dot. From here, we just spin to win. Rotate until that dot is on the index line. Now I'm reading my wind direction under the true index. 078 degrees. and count the number of divisions between center grommet and the wind dot there, which is 26 units. So I guess I got 079 at 26 here.